Breaking news, Ukraine has shaken Russia to its core, and what comes next may be something Moscow simply cannot survive. The balance of power in this conflict is shifting faster than anyone anticipated, and the world is watching a historic turning point unfold. Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my videos. Today we are going to take a deep dive into the story of how Ukraine broke Russia and why the coming days might be catastrophic for Moscow's ambitions. The story in simple terms is this. Russia expected a quick and decisive victory when it launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Instead, it has been dragged into a prolonged and draining war that has cost its soldiers weapons, resources, and international credibility. Ukraine, supported by the West and fueled by resilience, has managed not only to resist, but to push back. Sanctions have crippled Russia's economy, and battlefield losses have shattered its image as an unstoppable military power. The sacrifices have been immense on both sides, but it is Russia that now faces a future filled with uncertainty, instability, and decline. From the outside, Russia always carried the appearance of an unshakable military giant. Its army, filled with tanks, jets, and artillery, looked like a war machine that could overwhelm any neighbor. That exterior image of strength is exactly what Moscow wanted the world to believe for decades. But the war in Ukraine stripped away that facade. Tanks once showcased in parades were destroyed in muddy fields. Supply convoys stretching for miles were ambushed and shattered. Bridges and bases that symbolized control collapsed under precision strikes. The exterior of Russia's power, which once intimidated Europe, is now scarred and weakened. Brilliant. To the world, Moscow no longer looks unbeatable. It looks vulnerable. Inside Russia, the picture is equally troubling. The war has drained its economy. Sanctions from the West have cut off critical technology, foreign investment, and trade. The ruble has fallen, inflation has risen, and ordinary Russians feel the pressure in daily life. Shops that once sold Western goods now stand empty, factories face shortages, and thousands of skilled professionals have fled the country to avoid conscription or to seek better opportunities abroad. Internal dissent is growing, even though it is crushed quickly. Families mourn the loss of young soldiers as dissatisfaction spread despite the government's iron grip. The interior of Russia behind the military image is breaking apart under stress. In terms of performance on the battlefield, Russia has failed to achieve what it promised its people. The expectation of a lightning victory has turned into a grinding stalemate. Months of fighting have gained little ground and cost staggering amounts of equipment and lives. Lives. Why is the Russian military? The Russian military showed weaknesses that were never expected. Poor coordination, outdated strategies, and corruption inside the defense industry left troops without proper gear or support. Ukraine, on the other hand, has performed far better than anyone predicted. With clever tactics, use of drones, and high morale, Ukrainian forces not only stopped Russia's advance, but have retaken land in counteroffensives. The performance comparison is striking. Russia entered as the favorite, but Ukraine is the one delivering results. When it comes to safety features, Ukraine has developed ways to protect itself despite facing a larger enemy. With support from the West, it has gained advanced air defense systems, precision weapons, and intelligence sharing. These have acted like protective shields that save cities from missile barrages and intercepted deadly drones. Safety is not just in technology, but also in preparation. Ukrainian citizens built shelters, learned to adapt to blackouts, and created networks to survive under attack. This resilience became a safety feature of its own, one that kept society alive while bombs fell. Russia, by contrast, struggled to protect its own territory from drone strikes deep inside its borders. The once secure Russian homeland now faces explosions and sabotage, showing the fragility of its defenses. What makes Ukraine stand out are its unique selling points in this conflict. First, its unity. A nation that was often politically divided came together under invasion, and that collective spirit has become its strongest weapon. Second, its allies. Unlike Russia, which faces isolation, Ukraine has the backing of NATO countries, financial aid, and a constant supply of modern arms. Third, its adaptability. Ukraine has used small teams, creative tactics, and technology to outsmart a larger foe. The courage of its people, the determination of its leadership, and the ability to turn weakness into strength make Ukraine unique in this war. Those unique points explain why it has managed to hold out and even force Russia onto the defensive. The price of this war, however, is enormous. For Russia, the cost is especially devastating. Its economy is collapsing under sanctions. Its young generation is bleeding on the front lines, and its global influence is eroding. Billions of dollars worth of military hardware has been destroyed. Thousands of soldiers have lost their lives, and countless families are left grieving. The price is not just financial, it is reputational. Russia is now seen as weaker, less reliable, and increasingly desperate. For Ukraine, the price is also painful. Cities destroyed, millions displaced, and lives lost. But Ukraine is paying that price for survival, while Russia is paying it for an unjustified invasion that has only brought humiliation. In conclusion, Ukraine has broken the image of Russian invincibility. The country that was supposed to fall within days has instead revealed Moscow's weaknesses to the world. Russia faces isolation, economic decline, and military exhaustion, while Ukraine stands stronger with global support. What comes next may be even worse for Moscow. As sanctions deepen, losses increase, and internal unrest grows. The lesson of this war is clear. Resilience, unity, and innovation can defeat brute force. Ukraine has not just resisted. It has rewritten history by showing that even a smaller nation can break the myth of a superpower. The storm is not over, but Russia may not survive what is coming. If you enjoyed this analysis, make sure to stay connected, share your thoughts in the comments, keep following for more insights on the shifting dynamics of this historic conflict.